17 minutes past 3, and I think it's September when the Ginger and Spice Festival opens in Market Drayton. One of the highlights there will be Anuvab Paul. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's taking time out of his busy day, or just lounging around, whatever he's doing, to join me this afternoon. How are you doing, top man?
Hello, hi Dad, lovely to be here. I'm doing a bit of both, actually.
Are you? What are you doing? What, are you cooking or something? What's going on? I can't see what's going on. You haven't put the camera on.
That's true. I'm just going to put the camera. It's very boring, really.
Yeah, it is boring, isn't it? Yeah, yes. I'll put mine on so you can see how ugly I am as well. My goodness me. That'll scare everybody, apparently. So I've been told. So there I am. Hello.
There you go. You look like you're in a radio setting.
That's because I am. Now, tell me about your career. You're a stand-up comedian. I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, etc., and on the BBC website. What got you into that?
Yeah, so, I was a stand-up comedian in India, based in India, and I do stand-up comedy in the UK a few months of the year, and I don't know whose idea it was, but many, many years ago, in 2010, the Comedy Store of London decided to open a comedy store in Mumbai.
Right.
And bring British comedy to India. So it was quite an interesting experiment, but along with that, a few of us who were not comedians ended up sort of auditioning and doing comedy for the Comedy Store with British comedians in India. And subsequently, I didn't think that was going to take off as a thing. I thought I would return to my day job of being a business journalist. But 15 years later, here we are. And the flow of comedians has unfortunately gone the wrong way, because I think their original plan was to have lots of British comedians in India, which is how it started, and that continues. But now they've also worked with some Indian comedians, and we come over and do shows around the UK a few months of the year.
Excellent. Is there a big difference between the humour there and the humour here, or are we more or less on the same par? We just take the mickey out of everyone?
Well, that's a really good question. This one is the language, and what I really feel comfortable here doing comedy about is that, there's nothing is off limits. Like everything, the starting point of everything is, this is quite rubbish, let's make fun of it. And if it's better than that, then that's quite surprising, actually. That was not expected. But it seems like the expected level of things is pessimism and jokes about something. So I feel quite comfortable doing comedy here. In India, it's you can make fun of most things, but it's some things are quite tricky, so you have to be sort of navigate around it, because you don't want to end up in jail.
No, that's it. You definitely don't want to do that, do you? No. So what? I mean, you said you trained up as what sort of business advisor or something before this?
I used to be a business journalist for Reuters. I used to cover
Good grief. That's real money, mate. That's real money.
My parents keep reminding me every week for the last 15 years.
Yeah. So why did you do that? You could have a big house by now.
Yeah, and exactly. And the weird thing is that sometimes when I'll gig, I won't be too far away, as the luck would have it, from a Reuters office or a Bloomberg. Like, they somehow always are around me to remind me of my life.
So you can look at you, well, look, I could have been that rich one of these days, but I had to be a comedian, didn't I? Hey? So what work are you getting round here at the moment? I know you do a lot of stand-up tours, etc. You're coming to Market Drayton in a couple of months' time. What else is going on?
Well, I've been on tour for the last couple of months. I finished 3 shows in Birmingham last night at the Glee Club, and I've been all over Cardiff, Camberley, Tunbridge Wells, all across the UK. And it's been really interesting, actually, because I tell a lot of stories about India and about the past and our relationship. And Market Drayton is actually a great town because...
it's a sleepy old village, isn't it, really?
But Clive, the very controversial historical figure...
Yeah.
decided, for whatever reason, to move to Calcutta, my hometown, and set up shop. A trading company. I don't know why, so I'm a bit worried that I'll come to Market Drayton and never leave. Like the other way around.
It's a bit like Royston Vase, Once you get there, you never leave.
Exactly.
Hang around and play some music. We'll carry on talking, shall we?
Sure.
25 minutes past 3 here at BBC Radio Stoke. And I'm chatting away to Anuvab Paul. Am I saying your name right? I mean, it's correct.
It's better than my parents do it, Dan. It's very good.
Fair enough. I'll have that one then. So let's do. When's it occurring? When's the whole thing happening?
The Ginger and Spice Festival.
Yeah.
I think it's September. I think I'm performing on the 22nd. And I'm quite fascinated by the idea of a spice festival. I've never...
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, that's ginger. Ginger's just ginger, isn't it? What are you going to do? We should have really researched it, really, and see what's going on. What's going on? Lots of bits and bobs. You in particular, there's a heritage trail, a theatre. Oh, chefs are going to be there. So you're going to be well fed, apparently.
Look, I've always been... I mean, spice is so much of the modern world was shaped by spice.
Indeed.
I went to Scotland on a holiday, and apparently the most treasured thing, if you go to Stirling Castle, like where the King, James I, he kept all his gold and stuff, his most precious possession was a bottle of spices he got from India, like more than the gold and the money.
Was it?
Because I guess they wanted to put it on boiling meat or whatever, I guess to make it...
Yeah, tasty. Be honest with you, just tasty. Nothing worse than bland boiled beef and carrots, is it, for goodness sake? I was going to say, I've watched some of your videos. You've got a choice language in some of them. You'll curve them down for Market Drayton, won't you? Also be shocked out of the skulls.
I don't. Here's the thing, though. I'm not a big fan of swearing, which is why I like doing a bunch of stuff for BBC. And my audiences tend to be 40 plus.
Right, yeah.
And a fellow comedian was joking this weekend that in my audiences, at least 2 people have had a hip replacement. I'm not saying that Market Rate would have older people, but I've been told that I'll be quite comfortable with a sort of BBC Radio 4, BBC Stoke type audience.
Yeah, that's it. You have to shout up loud, though. Shout up loud and pronounce your words correctly.
Exactly. It has to be enunciated. So I'll feel very comfortable in an environment like that. It's all the comedy club stuff that, some of us do with sort of racier language, I shall leave behind before I get on the train.
Yeah, just in case. So you've got that to go ahead and do. You've done how many gigs? 3 gigs already this week? I mean, what else have you got on the old tour list there?
It's been, in the last set of shows, the tour sort of... I'm taking a break in July, but so far it's been 30 shows.
Grief.
I've been up to Oslo for 6 shows all around the UK. I've got to see quite a bit of your country.
Yeah.
And fortunately, in the middle of all the train chaos.
Oh.
But here's the thing, like a lot of people said, there's a lot of travel chaos going on, etc., and you'll see a lot of crazy things with train travel. But I travel in a lot of trains around India and during the monsoon, so... whatever craziness you've got going on with 2-hour delays is nothing. I've seen goats on top of trains. So, if it's there, I'm all right. It's the most I'm dealing with is an hour delay here or a station miss there.
Yeah.
And everyone seems very worried. The producers of the shows are like, will you get here okay? Will everything be okay? The trains are late. I said, you have no idea what late trains look like.
So you don't reside here then now? I mean, or are you travelling to and from?
Great point, Dan. I'm travelling to and fro. I'm here half the year. Mm-hmm. So about 4 months of the year I'm on tour across the UK.
And then you go when it gets cold?
In a perfect world, it would be planned like that. Yeah. But just as by luck would have it, I did a special for Amazon Prime, which was recorded at the height of the winter in the middle of Omicron.
Right, oh dear, yeah.
And middle of summer, when it's gorgeous, the tour is off, and then restarts when it gets colder. So I've never been lucky with winning with the weather continental shift. I wish I was. I wish it'd be great to tour in India in the winter and in the UK in the summer. But I suppose I'd have to be Ramesh Ranganathan or somebody like that to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you as popular in India as you're here in the UK?
Well, I mean, I'm very bad at talking about myself. So I wouldn't say, I'm popular, but I mean, because that would just be like, praising myself. I'd say we have 1.3 billion people. And out of that, some people like comedy, which is a large enough number. So I have a few fans.
Great.
So,
happy days, mate. Happy days. Okay.
But most of them, luckily, are within my family. So
yeah, well, as long as your family likes you, you're on to a winner, aren't you, mate?
Exactly.
So what are you doing this afternoon? Now, you're relaxing now. Are you going to have a bit of a kip? Won't you ever?
I wish. I was actually catching up on Glastonbury. I was watching.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Paul McCartney?
Did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They're very big in... I mean, I grew up... There's a lot of British music, for some reason, that was very popular in India. And the Beatles, for some reason, sort of entered the Indian imagination, as did bands like Pink Floyd. And many didn't. Oasis, for example, did not.
No.
Very popular band in India. Or nor did The Clash, who I'm very fond of. But Paul McCartney is almost has godlike status, like he does here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And 80 years old, I hope I get to 80, me.
Listen, like I'm saying, I've done now 60 shows across the UK. I could barely stand up on a Sunday, and at 80, you could have gone for another 3 hours.
Good heavens above, he could have done, absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, let me wish you all the best for the tour, mate, and thank you very much for taking the time and trouble, to chat to me this afternoon. Good luck at Market Drayton, like I say. Once you get there, you might never get back.
I'm looking forward to it, The first Englishman to come to India never left India, and I might be the first Indian to go to Market Drayton and never leave. So I'm looking forward to the ginger and spices and the whole weekend.
You take care. Have a lovely day, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.